Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Cathy from Crafts by Cathy. I'm here today with a really quick and simple tutorial for you. I'm asked quite often how I make my dangles. It's one of the things that sell probably the best in my Etsy shop. So I thought I'd come on with a quick tutorial for you. They come in many shapes, sizes, and there are all sorts of materials, papers, etc. that you can use for them. Some are big, some hang on the edge of the spine of a journal, some might go on the side. You might secure it with a paper clip, a bulldog clip. We're going to do ours on bulb pins today, just for ease. But if you would like to see a tutorial using the bulldog clips or jump rings or paper clips, just pop a comment in the messages and I'll see if I can make that one of our upcoming videos. So what I've used today are some bits and bobs and scraps and strips of different fabrics. I've got some inspiring words and numbers and tags. I've pulled out a couple of washi tapes which I think are quite pretty, and also I've used some bits and bobs of packing, direct mailers, that kind of thing, just for the cardboard element on the back. So let's get started. So the first thing I do is probably decide what kind of colour palette I'm going for. I've made a variety here to show you that there are many different ways and colour themes that you can go with. For instance, this one, I wanted something a little bit ditzy, but with a bit of the grungy feel and the journally feel to it. So we've made it quite delicate with a little hangy gem and a white bulb pin, but we've still got that grungy sort of dyed cotton feel with the ditzy fabric in the background. So why don't we start with that one? So just pull out the materials that I used for this one. So I've got some strips of this ditzy cotton fabric. Don't know why I keep using the word ditzy, just comes to mind when I look at that fabric. We have a little bit of the coffee dyed cotton. No shabby chic, junk journal-y vintage product would be complete without a little bit of lace. And we had a bit of the blue gingham, didn't we? I've got a nice small piece there, look. I also like to fray the edges of the fabric. I'm not really a fan of the very clean lines from where I've cut it with my rotary cutter. You can of course use scissors to cut your fabric, and you're probably more likely to get a lovely frayed edge rather than have to man make it like me. But I do find that having the rotary cutter, I've got a Fiskars one, it does make cutting your strips a little bit quicker, but then of course you take your time making it look frayed and aged and wonderful. So we just order this up in a way that we think looks pleasing to our eye. So this one is quite a lot longer than this one, but what I tend to do is put my layers of fabric together in a way that I think they look pleasing, and then worry about the lengths and the shapes afterwards. Okay, so that's looking something like what I've got there. Now let's look at the lengths. So I like to layer them so that there's something for the eye to move towards, rather than having all the same length and all the same shape. So for instance, I might have that one at an angle. That one's got quite a nice shape to it on its own, but I think it's a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut that at a bit of an angle. And let's see what overall length we fancy. I think it's also nice to layer the top line as well. I'm not a fan of everything lining up precisely. Just makes it more interesting, I think, to look at. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I am going to do a straight edge on the bottom, but I am going to blur that, if you like, with the frayed edge. It's just a matter of picking a few cottons off and pulling it apart a little bit, and then it doesn't look quite so uniform. And on we pop. So I've tried to do these in a variety of ways, so that for those of you who have certain tools, you can use them, and you know, not everyone, including me, have all of the tools of the trade. You'll notice on some of them I have put an eyelet on, and if you don't have an eyelet setter, that's not an option. So this one is the version that I came up with, which actually I think looks quite nice without that bold eyelet on. So we will now go for our sentiment. So this one, this came through the post. It's from a wildlife trust. It's this beautiful green colour, which I love, and there is some green in my Dixie fabric, but it was a little bit bold, so I simply just took some of this washi tape. It's not expensive washi tape, it's actually washi tape from a shop here called Home Bargains. They've got these in at the moment, 5 rolls, all in a variety matching set, for 79p, which I thought was an absolute bargain. So of course I came away with five sets. I'm sure I'll get through them eventually. Okay, so we just neaten that off, save that bit of washi tape. I'm not even going to use my trimmer, I'm going to go with my scissors. Save that. So now we need to choose a word. So I've got love on this one, which I thought looked absolutely fabulous, but I do like the colours. And as we've got some flowers on our fabric, I think I'll go with bloom. It's a little bit big for my liking, so I'm just going to chop it up a little bit. Pop a little bit of glue on the back. I am using my coral glue, which I decant into these precise nib bottles. Very handy. Sticks very well, grabs very quickly, and you only need a dab. It goes a long way. And I think I'll have it central. There we go. Now I have also come up with a clever way for those of you who don't have an ink pad, because the one thing I don't like to see are those white lines around the edge. So I'm going to have a go with my Sharpie and just very carefully run my Sharpie along the edge, just take away that white line. Now it's something very little, very simple, and may not annoy any of you, in which case you won't need to do it, but it is something that annoys me. The white edges, so I do have to do it. I am now just going to pop a hole in this. Now you may not have a clever little device, you can certainly go through it with a darning needle, any kind of pin. I'm sure there are many ways people can make a little hole in something. You could even go through it with the bulb pin, I'm sure it would go through. So now it's time to pick our bulb pin. This is the set I've got. I have replenished this with more of the colours that I tend to use quite often, and a few little bits and bobs that I do use with my, well, as you can see, the little beads and bits and bobs that I use quite often. So I think we'll go with the white one again. And I did like that little diamond very much, so let's see if I've got another one of him. Keep these ready already on their little pins, so it's just a case of popping it onto the pin. popping the sentiment through, and then through all of the layers of material. And there we go. Okay, so that's that one done. Now I've got a little helper that's turned up in my craft room. Say hello, Poppy.
Hello.
Poppy's my daughter, and she has said that she would like to help me. So I thought, what better way to show you how easy these are than let Poppy do one. So I am going to stand to the side. Poppy's going to take the seat, and we will see if she can make one look very beautiful. Okay. So as you'll now be able to see, I've sped Poppy's dangle making session up somewhat. She was quite inquisitive. She had a lot of questions, not all related to dangle making. So I just thought it might be easier and quicker for us all if I documented this one at a slightly higher speed. Hopefully one day in the future, Poppy will be able to come in and do a real-time tutorial with me, and you'll be able to hear us have our little chat about anything and nothing really, as we usually do. So I'll leave you with her for a moment, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, Poppy's finished product looks absolutely stunning. So she just followed along with me with what I'd done, and that's how easy they are. So we've got two made now. Now I'm not going to do tutorials on both of these because the video will just get long, and I'm sure you're getting the gist of how to do these. I suppose this one's the most different, with it having the cardboard tag and the eyelet in it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to leave that one up to yourselves, and we'll just do a quick tutorial on this one. I'm going to speed it up so that you don't have to listen to me waffle, and you will see how I gathered everything together on that one. Okay. So there we have it. I think you'll find we made some absolutely beautiful tags today. Tags, dangles, dingle dangle, whatever you wanted to call them. I think it shows that they can look very different depending on who's making them, and that they can still look absolutely stunning whether it's a 41-year-old or a 9-year-old at the table. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I really hope you'll come back and watch my next video, but for now, stay safe and take care. Bye bye.